Morning, everybody. Welcome to the January 8th regular town council meeting in the green room, and we'll begin with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item number 2, are there any visitors who wish to speak? No? Okay. Going on to the approval of minutes, December 18th, 2024. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? I will, even though I'm not voting. Abstain. Thank you very much. Number 4, the appointments. Mark Richards is here, and he is he wants to be appointed to the Economic Development Commission for a term until 6/30/2026. Mark, we're happy to have you. Would you like to tell us what you look forward to doing with the EDC?
Well, hopefully the betterment of the town of Clinton. My neighbor, Hank Tedeschi, put the arm on me. He said we could use some help, and been a lifelong resident of town of Clinton. Always been very active, involved. Zoning Board of Appeals for a number of years, town council for a couple of years. So I look forward to working with people like Hank and Bob Warner to have a positive impact upon the town.
Thank you for stepping up. Anyone have any questions? Dennis? No? All right, is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much, Mark. And you know to go to, yep.
I could have heard.
And you know to go and see Sharon at your convenience to be sworn in?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, thank you, thank you. The second appointment, Brian Smith, who would be interested in being appointed to Parks and Rec for a term until 6/30/2025. Brian, would you like to tell us about your interest?
Okay. My name is Brian Smith. I've lived in Clinton pretty much my whole life. I have kids that have gone through the programs of Park and Rec. I've been in the fire department since I was 15. Pretty much everything in town I do. I try to do what I can. With with Public Works too. I've been there almost 18 years. So I have that side of the knowledge of the fields. So I think with my knowledge, I would be an asset, possibly to the Park and Rec Commission.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Brian? No? Is there a motion? Second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Congratulations. Thank you for stepping up. And also, if you would go see Sharon at your convenience to be sworn in. Excellent. Thank you very much. Item number 5, the tax collector, Lisa, is here to speak with us. And morning. Welcome.
Thank you. So it's January. It's our second busiest month of the year. As you know, second half of real estate, personal property are being collected right now. And we also mailed in mid-December, the supplemental bills. We mailed out 2,304 more cars. Now, one would think that'd be simple, but with the DMV, there's always issues. DMV license and registrations are separate systems. So the biggest issue is people move, people change their license. They do not change their registration. The two at the state don't talk. Hence the return mail, hence the problem. So our month is filled with lots of yellow things coming back from the mail, and now we search to find them. And thankfully the software we use, LexisNexis, huge help to help us find them. That's, between that and helping all the residents, reminders for some of the elderly that we know that forget, or that try to pay a second time. We get a lot of that too, because the older you get, the more worried you get that you didn't pay your bills. But between chasing people, collecting money, answering calls, we're quite busy this month. But as far as the collections go, we're, right where we were last year at this point in time, like 51%. The answer comes next, at the end of the month. The beginning of the month is slow because a lot of the escrow companies wait to the end of the month now because they are actually making a little interest on everybody's money. And everyone that's ready to file their income tax is already calling and looking for their information for what they paid in taxes. So that's another volume of calls we're receiving to get that information. So do you have any questions about what we're doing this month or where we're at?
What's our collection rate? I remember it's really high. We do really well.
We do really well. We're usually 98 to 99%. We've been over 100 in some of the years. During COVID, we were a little on the conservative side, but the last few years. But it's funny because as we go through February, March, April, May, June, the collections go smaller, but yet we get to the numbers that we need to get to. And also utilizing our tax sale attorney to keep after the deadbeats of the habitual people who don't pay taxes on their properties. That also helps keep everybody in line. I can send delinquent statements every single month and not get a single reply from someone, and the attorney can send one letter and the phone rings from that payer. Once they hear an attorney is involved, they get on it. So it's a huge tool to use. And that doesn't cost us anything, which is great, another great thing.
Yeah.
About personal property. So there's normal personal property for businesses that are subject to tax. How do you keep track of it?
How do we keep track? Well, I don't keep track of the bills that are being billed. That starts in the assessor's office. We have, and unfortunately, personal property is another one of those things at the state level with that I wish they would really circle around that and revisit it, because we bill a lot of fictitious people for personal property because the statutes say they can. So the assessor creates that list and creates it and bills it, and we never collect it. We have a huge volume of uncollectible bills for people who opened a business but didn't really start a business. So, but because the way the law works, the assessors create that bill. Some will come in and they'll say, oh, I never did that. I never created that. Well, you filed it, so the state says you did, so they created a bill. And then, there's really not a tool to collect that. That is one of our biggest issues statewide, is personal property. But, the big companies and whatever, they all pay. Everyone that knows how it works is good. It's just a lot of the little shops and places, and the nail salons. That's another huge issue that I, would love to revisit with our health department, because it says that they shall remove a permit if they don't pay their taxes. And way back when, CRAD was good about working with us, and then since COVID hit, we've lost that ability to have a conversation, get a list. I could supply them a list of places that they license, and they don't do that anymore. But Michelle has the power to talk to them. Because it does need to be revisited. Because that did help. Again, that's another one of it's a simple letter from them to say, hey, we're not going to renew you, and all of a sudden they're in to pay their bill. They ignored delinquent statements, and we spend a lot of money on delinquent statements. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, great, thank you.
Any other questions for Lisa? No?
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
Donna is unfortunately out sick, so we will have her come at our next morning meeting. Something's going through town hall, I think. So.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lisa. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Item number 6, Todd is here for the Public Works transfer to speak to any questions we might have. We have two. The first are the purchase of a new sander for Truck 6 to replace existing unit not in production for $7,343. Do you want to do it separately?
Yeah, I mean, we can just, it's been an annual practice, but it's been a practice, if we have money left over in our capital items, if we didn't expend everything, we try to harvest some of that money to take it off future capital. I have that sander in capital for this coming year, but we'll just alter it, we'll just remove it and put it in, so I'm just looking to utilize some money there for it.
Excellent. Questions, anybody on this one? No? And then the next is the copy room problem and the repairs necessary?
Right, so we had a leak that kind of turned into a flood in the fall. It happened quite a bit ago. And it really it's caused wall damage. The rug had to be ripped out, and there had been some issues in the past with the way the pipe goes behind the wall with some leaking. So there's been an ongoing problem, but this one was aggressive. So Public Works had to come in, rip out the rugs. We are working with the insurance company to see if by some chance they're going to cover this claim. They sent an adjuster out, and they also sent an engineer to check our roof to see if that was the problem, the pitch. And so we are still waiting to hear what their stance is on covering it. However, the room needs to be fixed, and the walls need to be repaired, the rug, and all of that goes along with it. And there's an awful must smell. And so at this point, Public Works needs to get started. It's a good time of year for them as well. Being winter, it's a good indoor project for them to do that. So we need these funds. If we get the insurance coverage, it can be reimbursed into this.
Any questions?
The accounts that are being decreased, the slate roof and hot water heater, are those done? Those are done? And the Elliott House exterior, that's that building right there?
Yeah, we had originally budgeted a much higher amount, because originally there was also discussion back a couple of years ago of maybe doing a different type of siding. We're not doing that, we're just painting it. So there's money there, so.
So the improvements are still happening
Yes.
there? Okay. I didn't know if that was totally
Still-
taking it off.
There's a PO pulled against it to get that done, so.
The scope of the repairs are less, so it doesn't require as much funding.
No, that's great. Thank you.
We're just moving, instead of having to come hit the contingency or anything, we're trying to just shuffle some stuff around and get it done.
So if you do get reimbursed by insurance, where would you put the money?
Well, we'd have to see first how much we get reimbursed if they cover the whole project. And then we'll see with Bob.
Most likely go back into Fund 60, which is the CIP fund from which this is coming out.
Okay.
Any other questions about this? All right, is there a motion? Should we do these separately? Sorry.
Sure, yes.
Okay, we'll start with the $7,343. Is there a motion? Second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Objecting? Forgot the word.
Opposed?
Opposed, that's what it is. Thank you, Chris.
Certainly.
Motion carries. Next one is the $35,000. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Next is Chairman's report. Did you want me to go before yours? Does it matter?
No, you can go.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
First of all, I'd like to thank Chris for doing a fabulous job of chairing the last meeting. I appreciate that.
I don't know about that.
And he enjoyed himself immensely, so that was great. Thank you for being so welcoming to him. I would like to sort of follow what the Harbor News did as far as the year in review, and simply, I think, thank us all for working together. The year 2023 ended very difficultly with resignations and with Tom's passing. And we were left at the end of December without a finance director or a town manager. And we had to do a lot of catching up. And in January, we welcomed Mike, who's been, or was it December? No, January. who has been a great, wonderful asset to the council. We had to meet to hire a headhunter. We had to meet to hire an interim. We did budget work without a finance director and with a part-time town manager. We had meetings to hire a new town manager. We saw the passing of a referendum, again without a finance director and a part-time town manager. The interviews we had 36 meetings between January and May alone, through May. It's a lot of meetings. We did a lot of work, and we did it all together, or it wouldn't have gotten done. Every vote in 2024 was bipartisan. And that's something to be proud of, that we work that hard together and that we accomplish what we've done. And after that, the Pearson Development Plan and sale, we saw $3.8 million in ARPA safely put away, so we don't have to give any of it back. We're actively pursuing, thanks to EDC, Michelle, the consultant, downtown improvements. And it's all because we work together. And I know that we have politics swirling around us all the time. But what's important is the work. And I think that we've proven ourselves to be a good team. And it's not Democrats, not Republicans, it's all of us. And I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for 2024. I think we did a very good job. All yours, Michelle.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you. Wow, 36 meetings. So busy. Okay, so the budget process has started, and I'm just going to go over a little bit of the timeline. We are now in budget preparation season. Department requests have been received in December, so budget work will now commence. I'll be working with Bob and the department heads over the next month to finalize the town manager's budget. I'll present the budget to the council in February. The council will work on the budget in February and March. The council holds a series of workshops and meetings to review the budget and discuss possible changes. The budget calendar has been approved and posted on the town website. You should all have received that. There will be public hearing later in the spring. The council can make adjustments to the budget after the public hearing in advance of moving the budget to a public vote in May. So Bob and I will be spending a lot of time together, and we've been actually, we started this week, we reviewed the registrar's budget yesterday with them, which was actually their last official day in their roles as the registrar. We also had our S&P ratings call on the, I believe it was the 19th of December. We got a report. Bob is going to go, Mary handed it out to you, a copy of the final report from the S&P. Bob will go more into depth with it during his finance report towards the end of the month at our next evening meeting. But I wanted to give you some highlights because we just received that. The S&P Global Ratings assigned us a AA+ rating for the town of Clinton. 2.1 million general obligation bonds based on the application of its methodology for rating U.S. governments, published in September 2024. At the same time, S&P Global Ratings affirmed the AA+ rating for the town's existing GO debt. The outlook is stable. The credit overview, the affirmation reflects our view that Clinton's stable performance in diversifying local economy, debt levels remain affordable, in our view, and in line with existing policies. With a new management team and the town examining existing policies and looking to implement a more robust long-term financial and capital planning, currently, weaker economy metrics coupled with basic policies limit the town's upward trajectory. We expect Clinton to continue to manage balanced to positive operations while addressing capital needs and implementing more robust policies and practices. Those are some key statements. One thing that became very apparent with Bob and in conversations with him doing this preparation for this review is the lack of policies and clear procedures within the finance department and overall across the town regarding our finances. So we have come up with some specific areas that we're going to address, come up with some policies. The team that was on the call for the S&P, we're very happy to hear that, and we are confident that with the implementing of these policies and reviewing existing procedures, we will maintain, or if not, have a more of a positive review in the future. So Bob, I don't know if you want to speak about some specifics that stood out to you, or if you'd like to wait.
Yeah, I think I'll go over that on the next report, but I think one of the major items that were discussed is a CIP policy and a policy for long-term planning. So maybe it's going out 10 years. And that involves a lot of what-ifs, right? What if the state cuts their support by half? What if Grand List stays flat for 5 years? So it's nice to look ahead and give us the opportunity to plan before it happens. They were quite positive in hearing that. So after the budget process, we'll start working on that. And a more formalized CAP.
We will be having a bond, the bond sale will take place on the 16th of January. The town will be accepting competitive sealed bids electronically for $2,150,000 general obligation bonds to permanently finance short-term notes maturing on January 30th. Munistat Services, which is our debt service financial advisor, will assist in the process by verifying the accuracy of the sealed bids and recommending an award to the bidder with the lowest effective rate as outlined in the official statement and notice of sale distributed to the market on January 6th. In attendance will be myself, the finance director, the treasurer, and Mark Chapman from Munistat Services. So that will take place, and I will give you an update on that, or Bob will at our next meeting. We have some employee updates. I had shared with the council that we were posting the WPCC clerk position. I am happy to report that we hired Donna Pirelli. She started on Monday, which is very exciting because that position had been challenging to fill in the past. So Donna comes to us with many years of customer service experience, and she's had a few days under her belt, and it is going very well. So we welcome her. The outreach coordinator position, which was formerly a grant-funded position, we have had a very well response to candidates. We are down to 3, so we will be having the second interviews later this week and the beginning of next week, and I will give the council an update once we get the final candidate. I'm also reviewing and will be reposting the economic development coordinator position. We had done that earlier on and didn't have a very fruitful turnout with candidates. We had since brought in Dale, and the Economic Development Commission has really been robust and growing, and this is a great time for this position to be filled because they will be on the ground level of learning more about the goals and the revitalization of the EDC. So I'm going to be working with Dale to review the job description, and we will get that reposted, and I will update the council as we progress with candidates for that position. And that is all I have.
Any questions?
That position's part-time.
Part-time, correct, yes.
Did we have an update on I think it was the clinical psychologist position for human services?
So I am ready to post it.
Okay.
I'm navigating some obstacles with the union,
Okay.
but it is ready to go. Not on my end, so I'm hoping to come to some common ground on that. But we do realize there is a need for it, and the response for the amount of candidates that applied for the outreach coordinator, there are people out there, really talented people who have a passion for human services that are looking for employment. So I think hopefully we can get that figured out and we can get that job posted again.
Thank you.
And that's it. Anything else?
That's it? All right. Item number 9, council discussion. Is there any discussion?
Carrie, I just want to say thank you again for the summary to Eric O'Connell for summarizing all that stuff. You know, you look back over a whole year of accomplishments and what we've accomplished as a team. You know, it took me by surprise. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot all this happened in 1 year. And I just want to say thanks. And I look forward to 2025.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You've added a lot. And I didn't mention how grateful we are also to have Michelle and Bob.
Yeah, if it's less than 36 meetings, I won't be mad. But we did accomplish a whole lot this year.
Yeah.
It is.
Right.
I think sometimes you have to, Carrie and I sometimes we're talking when we meet, and you forget. Like, I think we're so busy with our day-to-day, and we just tackle things as they come in front of us, and we don't look back. And I think we need to look back every once in a while to appreciate where we've come. And I thank you all too. It was, I'm grateful to be here. I enjoy every day coming to work, and I'm really looking forward to 2025. There's a lot of great things happening. EDC is just growing, which is very exciting. There's a lot of things happening, we have the Comcast building has a lot of interest, and just a lot of great things happening here in Clinton. So 2025 will be a wonderful year.
Excellent. And God forbid I forget to thank Mary.
Yo, please.
Thank you.
Mary's why it's enjoyable to come to work every day.
Anything else for council discussion? How about committee liaison reports? Anything there?
I'm just continuing to push out the plan of conservation and development input. If the town's website could push something out about that, or
Yes,
the
okay.
sound socials, that would be fantastic.
The coastal resiliency group that I have not reported on because there have been, I don't know, I guess the timeline kept moving, but the timeline is about to stop. And in late December, we will have a presentation in this town as well as the other 3 towns. This is a regional grant that we
January,
received.
no? You said end of December.
No, I'm sorry, the end of February, actually.
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
gonna say.
And that will be, in each town, the consultant will come and address the greatest issues that they agreed upon and possible ways to solve it, from inexpensive to very expensive. So that will happen, and I'll let you know at the next meeting the exact date. I hesitate to give you one. There's one planned, but it is going to be the last week in February sometime. All right.
And just to touch on the POCD, they are coming to do a presentation at our next department head meeting in February to talk to the department heads, get some feedback. The department heads and employees will be receiving a survey middle of this month, and then get some feedback from them.
Great.
So we're engaging everyone at all levels. And I will work to get something on the website with the link to that survey.
That's great.
Yes. And on
That would be
social media.
terrific.
Mhm.
Okay. Is that it?
Just on EDC, the membership, we picked up a couple, Mark Richards and Mary Young, and we picked up Leif Klein about 4 or 5 months, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, but he resigned yesterday.
Oh.
So we had 4 open, we filled 3 of them, but we lost 1, so we'll still have
One
2 open.
vacancy.
And 2 filled. But we're making progress, it's a good team, they seem to fit well together.
Terrific. Okay, that's it. All right, so item number 11, adjourn. Is there a motion? Second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.